I can now say that I have jump roped on a UFO. There's something to cross off my bucket list. Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Kirby's Epic Yarn. In the last episode, we completed Tube Town and Mysterious UFO here at Spaceland, and we created the sky. In this episode, we're going to be exploring a constellation here at Stellar Way. Alright. I don't know about you, the ideas of constellations have always fascinated me, how, like, stuff in the stars, like, looks different depending on what planet you're looking at them from, and all this other stuff. I mean, I think I talked about it in my Pikmin Let's Play, but I don't know, it just fascinates me. So we're going to be going on stars, we're going to be going on connected stars and all this stuff. I find it really fascinating. I will say, though, the game that has probably the coolest interpretation of constellations is Kid Icarus Uprising. I love how I think it's in Chapter 8 when you go to the space pirate ship. I love how the constellations look in that level. That is, like, the most creative, like, interpretation of how constellations would look in fiction ever. Anyway, though, we have technically new enemies. We have blue comets right here. They cannot be harmed unless you throw stuff at them. They are invulnerable otherwise. You might notice that whenever stuff has this spiky stuff around it, it's invulnerable from where that spiky stuff is. Something that you might not have noticed, those are actually pipe cleaners. It's a bit tough to notice because of this game being kind of low resolution, but yeah, they're pipe cleaners. I always thought that was kind of fascinating. And I love this song, by the way. Isn't that just soothing? But anyway, whenever you get one of the patches in this level, the comets that are falling will then turn into beads that you can collect. So it turns what is normally your worst enemy in this level into your best friend. So it turns the meteors into friendly shooting stars, even though they're technically the same thing to a degree. I don't know. I always like that. And, they're back to being bad again. Okay, so let's just get out of here. We got ourselves the soldiers in this level. I don't know what they're doing on a constellation in space, but I guess they don't really have that many enemies to work with. The waddle-doos in the UFO were any indication. Which, were those the only enemies that were in that level? I think they were, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know, I already finished recording that video, so I kind of can't check right now, unless you want me to stop this level in the middle of the way through and then resume it, in which case I think you hate me because you'd want me to play this level more times, but anyway. No, actually, I like this level. What the heck am I saying? I legitimately like this level, so I can't really say that that would be so much punishment, because I do like how this level looks, and UFO enemies. What the heck am I saying? You have the UFO enemies! Of course they had enemies to work with for space. What the heck am I saying? I will say, though, a bit off topic, but I don't really dislike this world as much as I did. I mean, I never disliked this world, but I think I might have come off that way when we first got here, saying that this is kind of like the least memorable world to me. But I don't know. I kind of have a better appreciation for it now. I will say the music is better than I remember it. I don't remember Future City having such great music, and I wasn't able to hear it all that well till I was editing it, because I have to have my music turned down a bit because I don't plug my headphones into, like, into my audio source for my TV. So it's just, yeah, the way that I record this, I usually have to turn down my audio a bit so that you don't hear an echo in the recordings, which in some cases I think you have heard echo in my videos, but I try to make it not that common. Anyway, outside here into space, we have on the scaffolding a star candy. A candy is imbued with the power of the stars. It has an extremely intense flavor. I think this might be a reference to that invincibility candy that you get, like the lollipops in other Kirby games, where it's like, okay, I'll stop. But seriously, I do like that candy, and as you saw in the Return to Dreamland Let's Play on the Runaway Guys, I couldn't get enough of just doing that like crazy. But, anyway, can we go any higher, actually? Let's, go out here. I think we can, actually. Yeah, we can, okay. So let's go ahead and grab these beads, and what we want to do is we want to jump off, and I did it wrong. Okay. Let's grab onto this again. Let's go over here. I want to get those. Because I am a bead whore. Bead whore? Oh god, I sound like friggin' a girl at friggin' whatever it's called in New Orleans. I don't remember what it's called though, but you know, you give a girl beads and yeah, that stuff. Anyway, we get the Stellar Way music. Wow, that was an awkward subject I get on. Doesn't help that part of my family is from New Orleans too. I swear, I have family from everywhere, like, if you guys haven't guessed that by now. Like, I've brought up, like, me being a mutt a few times in this series, and yeah, I definitely am. Anyway, 3-star patch up there. Go over. Let's go back over to where we were going, and there you go. We got 2 of the collectibles. Let's go out of the way of these UFOs. Grab that, and... Oh, why not? I'll grab these while I'm still here. Might as well. Don't really have anything to worry about. Let's swing over. There we go. And I don't... Actually, I want to know, how is the parachute working in space? Like, there's no, like, wind resistance or anything in space. I mean, it's kind of like Galileo's theory that, like, two objects that weigh differently, you know, will fall at the same rate due to the way that gravity works, and then, you know, you have wind resistance, you know, like, they would always, like, use, like, a feather to, like, show, like, no, it doesn't, and then you take the air out of the equation, and sure enough, Galileo was correct. Why am I referencing... You know what? No, I take that back. I do not apologize for that. I am fascinated by space. I don't know why this level wasn't so memorable for me, actually. I really don't know, because thinking more about it, space fascinates me. I wanted to, like, get into, like, astronomy when I was younger, you know? I really did want to. And, you know, I did listen to Carl Sagan. I did listen to, you know, I read, like, stuff that... some of Galileo's research and all that stuff. It just, like, you know, I found it really interesting to, like, read up on these astronomers and all that. It's just, like, I don't know. Maybe I just kind of fell out of it, kind of like how I fell out of being an artist, and ever since I've started drawing on Miiverse, everyone's telling me I should try to become an artist again. But, I don't know. Apparently, a lot of you really like my drawings on Miiverse. A lot of you were telling me, like, I get comments from people being like, God, I feel like such an amateur when I see yours. I'm like, they're not that great, are they? But, I digress. There I go saying I digress again. I gotta stop saying that. Another Let's Player already has that catchphrase. I can't do that. Okay, fine. But I digress. You know, in the bathroom. Okay, no. Actually, you know what? If I want to steal a catchphrase, all I gotta do is just say hubris every 5 seconds. That'd be a great way to get back at John. But, regardless of all that, check it out. We got a Metamortex. And now I want to say this. We are about to hear my favorite song in Kirby's Epic Yarn. Okay? Are you ready for this? Let's hop into this and become Rocket Kirby! Your shots will be spread out if you keep mashing the button. If you hold it down, you will rapid fire directly in front of you. That's all I need to explain. Now listen. Streak of 592. Eat it. See how much better you play when you don't have to do live commentary? In all seriousness, though, I love doing live commentary. Wouldn't give it up for the world. Okay. Isn't that just the happiest song you have ever heard, though? It's so happy. It really does feel like you're hopping on a rocket, going on an adventure like a little kid would dream of doing. It's just... everything about it, it's just filled with wonder, is the best way I can describe it. I can't get enough of that song. You know, like, I've listened to, like, extended versions of it, and I could tell you what the song is called, but we're coming up on a level that's actually named the name of that song, so I don't want to spoil it quite yet. We will know what it is in the next episode, but for the time being... Woo, boom! We have a boss fight. Guess who it is? Meta Knight! I miss when these bosses were bad puns. But in all seriousness, I'm glad that some tried and true Kirby bosses are getting some screen time in this game. Because there aren't a lot of... well, no, there's elements of Kirby in this game. Never mind. Anyway, let's hop up here, and let's do it. Let's fight the Smash Brothers band Batwing Badass himself, Meta Knight! All right, Meta Knight, let's do this. In Smash Brothers tier list, you out-tier me like crazy, but here, I don't know. Anyway, I do find this to be the toughest boss fight in Kirby's Epic Yarn. If you can do this fight, you can effectively do all of them really well. See, you have to deal with the fact that he can counter your attacks. Like, as you see there, he knocked away the attack at him. You have to grab the shockwaves from his sword, and then when he is distracted, you gotta throw it at him and take away his sword. That's all you have to do. Taking away his sword is how you damage him in this fight until he has no other means of defending himself. He has 4 swords in that thing, which actually are green, blue, purple, and red. 4 swords together with those colors. Are they referencing another Nintendo game, perhaps? I don't know. I just always made that observation and always thought that was kind of fascinating. But anyway, now with that, we're on to the purple sword. I purposely find this to be the toughest one to avoid. He's going to do this, which covers like half the screen. And you just want to get up really high when he does that. He can do the same attack that he had during his blue form, and there you go. That I find to be kind of tough to avoid. Now, for his final sword is going to be red. This is just going to basically be a more powerful version of the purple one. He's going to do this attack where he fills up like half the screen. But on top of that, he also is going to have these twisters. You have to get to the very far edge of the screen to avoid them. He also is going to launch 3 shockwaves at you instead of just 1. You do that, and that's it. That's Meta Knight. I am amazed I did that in one try, and he like goes like, "Oh, I am ashamed. I am going to retire into my cloak." All right, we got the classic Meta Knight music, and we also have Satellite Patch.
We did it! We got the magic yarn! The magic yarn shimmered and spiraled and swirled high into the sky. And Patchland was stitched back together thanks to Kirby and Prince Fluff. Thanks, Kirby. I couldn't have done it without your help. Kirby and Prince Fluff jumped for joy, but their celebration was cut short when Meta Knight awoke. Kirby, forgive me. I blame the yarn. Meta Knight explained to Kirby that Yin Yarn was taking over Dreamland. This upset Kirby. He had no idea how to get back to Dreamland. I've got it, Fluff declared. Prince Fluff pulled out a sock just like the one Yin Yarn had stolen from Patch Castle. Socks always come in pairs, and now that Patchland was stitched back together, the other sock's magic had been restored. Be careful, Kirby. Yin Yarn is one mean piece of string. He'll be fine. After all, I'm going with him, Fluff said, and they all set out for Dreamland to button up Yin Yarn's story once and for all.
I love how this story's ace in the hole is socks always come in pairs. Can you get any cuter than that? Before we actually set off for Dreamland, though, remember, we do have some bonus levels here to do in Spaceland, and I'd like to take them out first. So, next time on Kirby's Epic Yarn, we will be using this satellite patch. Oh my god, it looks like a gyroscope. Are we going to have a Wii Motion Plus theme level? Okay, no, we're not. See you guys then.
Quack, quack, quack.